Oh, hello there. Well, since you're here, you obviously saw the title of the video. I doubt I made that cool of a cover image for you to click on this. I'm not doing introductions, that's not why you're here. You're here to watch me spend, admittedly, a little too much time on a silly little challenge I thought I would pull off super easily. So, without further ado, can you beat Dark Souls 3 without rolling? Well, that's obvious, of course you can. So, I'll see you all later, see ya, bye. Okay, enough of the gags, or you can stick around and try to see how I tried to run headfirst into a particular law of my own autistic doing. So, to start, we make the most handsome gent around, Sir No Rolls. Do not be afraid to DM ladies and gents, for he is wide and accepting partners. Just look at that handsome face, that wide figure. I'm skipping most of the starting area. I've seen it 1,000 times. Most people have seen it 1,000 times. So straight into beating Udick's gun. Not gonna lie, first tried him as well, felt good, and we're gonna just transition straight into everyone's favorite area, Firelink Shrine, for some levels and quick Estus allotment. Then we head back outside to find our favorite naked samurai dude, and then obviously do the unique, totally unique to me strategy of using gravity to kill him. Never seen before. We will then carry on to the High Wall of Lothric. A very beautiful place, but very uneventful in its entirety. Nothing truly happened here. It was just the starting area. Only thing of note is I will kill the Mimic, and then I will use his axe once in the playthrough. I will use it to kill Vort, and that is it. And I think to do one simple jump, but that is all. Very uneventful area, but Dark Souls 3 ASMR. Fuck your eardrums. While opening up the shortcut back to the starting bonfire for High Wall, in case I did die to Vort, I did remove the B binding on my controller because I was afraid of rolling on accident. The rest of the run, I won't be able to really run or backstep until later. And then I headed back to Firelink Shrine to just use up the rest of my levels real quick and try to find something to do in the meantime before I face Mr. Wide Ass himself. Then it was time for Vort, and I skipped past the cutscene and started the battle. Second phase, funny meme part. But I did first try Vort. Wasn't that hard, no rolling of course. Just beating this man's ass the whole second phase. Now with Vort dead, it is time for me to get abducted by the man living in the basement and then dropped off at the local crack house to immediately get swarmed by their pit bulls for even existing. Then nothing of interest happened. I found this crippled dude. I beat the crap out of him. I took his sword and his funny hat. And the flamberge is what I will use for most of the run going forward. I forgot that I was embered here and had to fight Hodrick. This is my first death in the run of many to come and will foreshadow that anything humanoid I will struggle against in the future. I cannot parry, and the bot is better at parrying than me. It is a sad day. I don't even know what to say to this. I was sad. I finally made it to the ballsack tree, gave him a quick shave, decided to take his stuff, run his fade, and then get the hell out of there, because he was weird, and I didn't like his vibe. Don't stick around people you don't like, kids. It's weird. Shortly after this, I found a drunk dude, became his instant friend, killed a demon with him, and then he peer pressured me to drinking with him. Good times, Miyazaki. I made my way into Swamp Point 5, just the game teasing what is to come here soon. And then after exploring some time, found an old dude, which, after him spitting some wisdom, I decided to break his hands and take his funny glow stick, because I wanted that shit. It was mine. Another first try, still only on one death for the run. something something. I made it through the chapel, but fuck the Grave Wardens. I died to this pair of Grave Wardens like 6 times. The bleed just cut through my shield, and it made me realize I had to change how I was doing this, or I was going to fail. So that was fun. Quickly made my way through the chapel, did not care to do anything else in here, fought the deacons, nothing to say, it is the deacons. I had a big sword, they are just dudes with candles, another first try for me. Then I made it to Miyazaki's Gunner Cave after backtracking from Swamp Point 5 down to Miyazaki's dream house of actual Poison Swamp. Except this is the twist, I can't run and I can't roll through it. After lighting all 3 signal fires, I will eventually make it to the next boss, which is just the personification of, with friends like these, who needs enemies? Again, is a first try boss. I love it, I always will, but in the end, it is nothing to really talk about. Easy, quick, nice finish, just another boss without a death. After exploring the catacombs a bit, I went back to Firelink Shrine. I did some upgrades, I got some more levels, used my souls that I had, and in general kind of took a small little break. Because obviously, the next boss is going to be the easiest one coming up. I could never die to it. Not in a million years. Never. So yeah, I did die to one air on my first try because I tried to tickle the man's pelvis and forgot I couldn't run, so I couldn't run out of the death gas. I met Sullivan's guard dog, the big Rottweiler. It jumped me. I wasn't even in the dude's yard yet, so I had to go talk to Sullivan. First try, dude beat the crap out of me. So I returned the favor. I actually managed to parry him on the second try. I gotta get that aura walk in first. Fucking parried, and then proceeded to not give it a close call at all. Totally. The fight didn't get close at all. Don't look at my no S's flash. It's fine. Another boss down. Again, another second try. We're starting to get into the territory where there are no more first tries. I met some new people walking on the rafters. Too bad they decided to try to throw me off of them, so I decided I need to go talk to their boss real quick. When I finally do meet their boss, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind, because who has dudes that just throw people, willing customers, off of the top of roofs? Nah, never, ever. Don't think I died here. No, I was totally fine. I didn't die to this overnight. This didn't take me like 30 minutes to get past because I was stubborn. Don't worry about it. I did in fact meet their boss and proceeded to die. Again, and again, and again, and again. Then, after a few more deaths, I decided I'd go find Mother Rosaria, just in case, inevitably, when I do respec, because this isn't going to be viable the whole game. I again went back to Aldrich with a new strategy in mind, and died terribly. Almost always in phase 1. So, I made my way back to Mother Rosaria. After a bit, I decided I'd pull the trigger and finally actually do a near full strength build, just enough so I could still use the Flamberge, as it was still my weapon of choice, but this doesn't help me kill Aldrich. I'm just gonna keep dying. There is nothing here. There is no salvation for how I'm trying to actually play the game. So, I decided that it was time for a prison break, or maybe a prison field trip. Am I like those kids in Scared Straight just getting shown the inmates and threatened with jail time now? After making my way through the prison and actually trying to finally get into a good shortcut area, which I died opening this shortcut, I was annoyed by that, I make my way into the main room. And it was annoying fighting this main room and its gaggle of freaking jailers. I had to, one by one or in groups of 2, lure them over because I couldn't roll and I couldn't take their damage. This was fun. This was normal. This was amazing to do. I loved it. Give me more, apparently, is what I was asking for. There was nothing of note on the way to Yorm. I got into his room. I got the Storm Cutter, or whatever the fuck it's called, and I killed him quick. First try, easy as pie. I don't know if pie is actually that easy. The few pies I've made, I've fucked up, so apparently pie isn't that easy. Gimmick bosses for the win, I guess, on challenge runs are the best. I then made my way back to Firelink Shrine and remembered I had to actually set the cinders on all the chairs. So I put all the special little boys in their special little high chairs and gave them their special little attention. That was just something I remembered to do, so here's me doing it. Yep, there you go. Non important. I stepped on his head. That's it. After getting into the endgame mentality, I finally found my way back to the high wall of Lothric and decided to face the dancer. The first try went very well. I didn't beat her though. I think it took me around 4 or 5 tries to finally beat her. I just had to learn to strafe left when she spun, but she did teach me something. Spinning is a very viable strategy apparently.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
After putting the big soup bowl on the pedestal, I made my way forward through the castle, nothing of real note happening until later when I reached the Dragon Slayer armor. So, after making it to discount Alphonse Elric, I did first try him. There was nothing of note in between the dancer and his fight, and there's really nothing of note afterwards for a little bit. I then decided to try and go get into the local university, but then I remembered I still had to beat Aldrich, or Aldbitch, from earlier. So now I realized I had to go back to his Coombe dungeon, but I allowed myself some time to stand around regretting my decisions, forgetting one of the most important parts of the game, beating all 3 Lords of Cinder before the twins. So yeah, you can tell it's been a while since I played this. It was fun. So yes, back to Aldrich I will end up going, regretting everything I've just done, because I feel like it was a waste. I wanted to push up Aldrich as long as possible. And it was the same as earlier. No matter the armor optimization or what, it was death after death after death. And I hate the fucking arrows. There was no way of stopping it. Then, after dying so many times, I think I had the best kill on Mr. Vor that I've had in the last 9 years. Mutually assured destruction. It is a pure resemblance for my mental health and my way of thinking. After a short fit of yelling in a euphoric sense because Aldrich was finally dead, I put Mr. Vor's head on his chair. I then quickly made my way back to the local university, after finding the keys to the front door of the university on the local dead homeless man, because that is modern day security apparently. After letting the members of the local university experience my rendition of the Sandy Hook experience, I did make it to the twins, with nothing of true note transpiring in between then and there. Now was the time. The fated twins, Lorien and Lothric, equipped with my trusty flamberge and a shield. I had this under wraps. And I died, and died, and died, and died again and again and again. So that wasn't working. With that not working, it was time to hunt for Estus and bone shards that I had missed. And a few things before someone says anything about it. 1, I chose to limit myself in this challenge without any glitches or cheese strats. 2, I was not allowed to abuse shields. 3, I could parry, but I am not the best at it, so in the end it didn't much matter. And 4, when it came to the idea of levels, I was not allowed to overlevel myself to try and make the challenge trivial, as a health bar of closer to 2,000, the challenge would have just turned into how many hits can I take before I need to take a sip of my Sunny D? Which, thinking about that, and after dying so many times, after trying so many armors and how to get the best damage negation, I ended up finding some Estus shards I missed and reset my stats for the last time in this run. Now focus purely on strength, ditching my flamberge, going for the Guts Greatsword now. The cuts in this make it seem more like this wasn't a long time, but the Lorien and Lothric fight had me going against a wall and I refused to try to go around it. So many tries I had tried to do the same thing without actually improving it until the end when I'd figured out to actually better use the pillars and got super lucky in the end to kill both of them. With the cripples dead, I finally had one more stupid edgelord in my way. Now, this theme came up earlier with fighting Aldrich as well, but I had figured out that Aldrich seemed like it was a relatively RNG fight with how I was playing. Lord Lothric confirmed it, and then the Soul of Cinder will further confirm it, as a lot of this ended up being RNG mixed with the skill of the player, but a lot of RNG. I put the twin cripples into their big height chair and then got fondled by the blind lady and sent to the end of the kiln to go beat Daddy Fire, apparently. So, I love the Kiln of the First Flame. I love the end boss. I love the Soul of Cinder. There's a reason why it's the only tattoo I currently have. So, this is more my own fan service. Nothing actually happened here. I just wanted to see it. So, as you could guess, I got my shit pumped by it in multiple times. So, I decided maybe it was the best time to go to the gardens. Go kill King Schizo and the Brooding Champion. I was disappointed. Made my way through the garden, and it sucked. It had no lilies and no pansies other than me there. Just a second-rate version of Miyazaki's Gooner Cave. King Schizo himself got me the first time I tried to take the PCP away from him, but the second time I finally managed to wrench it out of his hands, allowing me to go visit the spooky starting area, which led me to the champion himself. The same fate followed here as with Schizo. He got me good the first time. The second time I did win the fight with relative ease. So, with the two previous bosses, including Schizo and Champion, I had to heavily use the shield to be able to properly get through the fight, and I did not enjoy it. It trivialized the fight, I felt, while not being exactly what I wanted in the scheme of the challenge. I wanted a walking lunk doing damage over preservation of self, but also I had realized that with bosses that knock you down or jug you, not being able to roll out sucks, and it is almost always a free extra hit, if not a free juggle. So hiding behind my shield became a needed part of those fights so I wouldn't be thrown around like the Stoner's kid's hacky sack. So I ditched the shield for the most part, and then made my way to Archdragon Peak. Once there, I killed the next gimmick boss, Mr. or Miss Ancient Dragon, and then made my way through the area. Again, nothing of note happened. With my new levels and my new shield strategy, I made my way back to Edgelord himself, but I didn't feel comfortable abusing it in the long run. Which I can quickly show you the result of my newfound shield strategy against the Soul of Cinder. It didn't work out that well. It was again death after death after death against him. At this point, I was tired of dying again and again and felt out of my mind, so I was in Discord call and listened to some music, which is why I can't have audio because I didn't split the audio channels. Hi, it's me editing this now. I just realized that the last two clips looked almost identical. I died to that move so many times. There was going to be a bit about it, and then I removed it, but I thought I should put that out there. So, I decided it was time to go down to the Smoldering Lake and kill an old dude for his pocket change. Another first try finally, and I used his pocket change to buy myself a nice cold drink. I had also realized that what I used in this fight gave myself a really decent mix of fire and physical damage resistance. So I decided to run a version of it for the rest of my time on this challenge, meaning no more shield going forward, and I was quite happy with the outcome of this fight since I, 3-hit him. After making my way back, again, for the third time now, to the Edgelord, I had a good set of runs, all ended in deaths, until finally the RNG was on my side. Now, up until this point, I had the B button on my controller disabled, and I wasn't able to run. At this point, I had finally turned it back on, as you can see, and I am running to dodge his freaking attacks. With that running finally enabled, the RNG was a little more favorable as well, and I finally found myself some good set of runs. The pun is absolutely intended there. But then, finally, after literal hours spent between the twins and the Soul of Cinder, I had finally beaten the last 2 hurdles to saying I had beat Dark Souls 3 without rolling or any super cheese strat or glitches. I did attempt the Nameless King, which with less than 10 attempts I found were super easy in phase 1 and then super brutal in phase 2. Oh god, And so, with that, the challenge comes to a pseudo close for now. I have beaten the game by standard definition. I did not conquer Nameless King, nor did I proceed into any of the DLCs. I did, however, completely enjoyed my time being able to replay this game and have a purpose behind it, and be able to throw it into the void for anyone to see and consume in their own free time. If you enjoyed watching me do this challenge, you want to see me beat the Nameless King, and even have myself do the DLCs of Dark Souls 3, let me know. I'd love to have an actual reason to continue this challenge, and again, throw the results into the void for others to consume and see. I'll probably do it anyways. You can't stop me. With that, here's a final snippet of my stats, and at the end of the game, showing that I did not power level or do anything weird, just a simple dude with a big sword. And that's it for now. I've been Vail, Vail, Valet. I don't care how I pronounce it. See ya.